All right, guys, we are back. We do have a way too early federal election poll here, but it was posted. I did want to share it. I thought it was interesting. So this is from the Real Albanian Pat over on X, and he's got the Liberals currently at 41%. Down, he did a poll just a couple weeks ago after the election as well, so he has them down 0.1%. Not much movement there. Conservatives down 0.9% at 39.6. NDP, though, remember, they got 6% of the vote. They're back up to 8.5. And again, we're not anywhere close for them to be able to call or have a vote of non-confidence to call another election. But I do want to report on these polls because I do want to track the NDP, because the better they do, the more they're going to want an election, because they want official party status back, and they want to try to climb their way back to the party they used to be. It wasn't that long ago where they got over 100 seats. I think it was under Tom Mulcair. Maybe Jack Layton. Can't remember. But either way, well within my lifetime. The Greens are back up to 3.9, so they're up a little bit, about half a percentage point. No change with the People's Party. But this is interesting, because if you go over to 338 Canada, this is all of Nanos' polls. Now, they predicted 42% for the Liberals. They overperformed by 1, which is in the margin of error, but the Conservatives overperformed by almost 3 points. They ended up getting 41 point something percent of the votes, but it was almost 42%. So you got, 3 points basically they overperformed by. So if that's the case, then technically we're looking at a basic tie in terms of the actual popular vote, the percentage of the popular vote, which is not great news. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, we're coming back. I'm just saying the number we're going to be looking forward to is, especially as Mark Carney continues to fumble, and this was done on May 16th, right? So this is 4 days ago. This was just after we found out about the whole dropping the tariffs and how that happened before the election. But because mainstream media is pressing that information, a lot of people still don't know yet. Once that information gets out, once these cabinet picks, even though they've been quote unquote shuffled around and they're not working and Canada continues to get worse, expect this number here, the red number, to drop pretty significantly and the orange number to rise pretty specifically, and I think the Conservatives will rise a little bit. It's going to be almost impossible for them to get over 45% of the vote. But that being said, even if you look at the last election, 41% of the vote for the Conservatives is, almost always they're going to win a majority when they get that. But because the NDP collapsed, of course, that didn't happen. And again, people might ask, Dan, why are you posting this? It's a poll not even a month after the election. I know. Because I know a lot of people are really down about the results of the last election. I agree with you. I don't think we're headed into very good direction at all. But this kind of thing, when you see the NDP starts to move up a little bit, even though Nanos had them at 8 and they underperformed, I don't see them doing that again. And if this number keeps growing, this number is going to shrink. And that's good. And that brings hope. There's a lot of people who are just, no, I'm done. I had about 60 people unsubscribe to my channel the night of the election because they've just had enough. They're tired, they're frustrated, they're angry. Being a fan of the Conservative Party, at least right now, is like being a Maple Leafs fan. And we all saw what happened. Again. So yeah, there's a lot of people right now who are just down in the dumps. So here's a little bit of hope, I guess. The NDP is trending up. That's good. Conservative and the Liberals, it's not like they've completely taken over and they're up to 50% or anything like that. They're going to start to fall. Does that mean we have an election in 6 months? I don't think so. I hope so. That'd be great. I don't think so. I don't even know if Pierre's going to be back in Parliament by then. We'll just have to see when their by-election is, but I think it's going to take a little bit more time, unfortunately. And then I see a lot of people saying, well, it doesn't matter, Dan, because they're going to switch out the leader again. They don't have anyone else. Mark Carney was, and again, we all know who Mark Carney is, but a lot of people who voted Liberal didn't. Who else do they have? Pierre Poilievre called out Mark Carney being the next leader of the Liberal Party over 2 years ago. Right, so we all saw it coming. Who do they have left? None of their cabinet members are popular. That's why none of them took over for Justin Trudeau. That's why they had to bring out a quote-unquote outsider who's really an insider, but we all know what that means. He was an advisor for Justin Trudeau, but people didn't realize it or they didn't believe it. So they voted for him. They're going to have buyer's remorse. You know, some of them already have. So we just need to keep this going. And we need to make sure that we do a better job, myself included, all of us content creators here who want the Conservative Party to have a chance. We need to do a better job convincing people to get out and vote. We didn't do a good enough job doing that. Neither did Pierre. 32% of people did not vote. If even 5% of those people vote, overwhelmingly they're going to go Pierre. Probably, right? But they didn't care enough. But they're going to soon. The worse things get, the more people are going to care, and that's why you're going to see, like, in my opinion, more of a higher turnout in the next election, although I was wrong when I predicted that for this last election, so take that with a grain of salt. That's just my prediction. But either way, we're seeing the NDP trend up. If that continues, the Liberals, those votes are going to come, or that support is going to come from the Liberals, mostly. So it's good news. It's something, right? If you're a hockey fan, if you're a Leaf fan, if you're a Conservative fan, it sucks right now. So here's a little bit of hope. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps grow the channel. And thanks for watching, and I'll be back shortly with a new video.